If you've been feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or so many people right now, I feel like the trigger word is like anxiety. It's probably because you're taking on more than you should. And here's the actual conversation around it. People are taking on the responsibility of others that should be adulting. Yesterday, I literally saw a video of someone who started a GoFundMe because they moved to the beautiful city of Tampa, but they didn't like it. And they were like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to Miami. So they started a GoFundMe for people to pay for them to move back to Miami because they didn't like Tampa. Ma'am, you made an adult decision to move to a city, and now you're making it the responsibility of everyone around you to pay for you to move somewhere else. How does that actually work? And then of course she's like, I don't have a job. You don't have a job in Tampa. Why did you even leave Miami where you had a job to come to a city where you don't have a job? But I'm thinking about how many family and friends has she already reached out to, asking them for money, who now feel obligated to help her because she's not making literally just wise adult decisions. I'm genuinely confused about why people feel like in today's age, in today's economy, and granted, I'm a Christian, I rely on God for my sources. Like, He's gonna make sure I have a job. He gonna make sure if me and Ricky need extra money, like, we're taken care of. My question though is, we still live in a natural world. And in this economy, why would you just be moving around with no job at your big grown age? And then calling on the people around you to take the responsibility of taking care of you. I feel like most people that are stressed out, overwhelmed, and having anxiety today, it's because they are trying to take care of another adult. Not another child, another adult. Like, I can't tell you the people that be like, oh, could you help me with my rent? Could somebody help me with my rent? Like, I have worked multiple jobs in my life. I have worked overnight shifts in my life. I have worked, listen, there was a point in time where I had a daytime job where I would go to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., get off of work, go work overnight at McDonald's from 9 p.m. till like 6 in the morning. And then guess what? Be at my other job back at 8 a.m. Like, adulting. Like, what is it about adulting that is confusing people in 2025? Like, adulting is not stressing your parents out, asking them for everything. And I'm not saying you can't ask for help every now and then. You super can. These are why you have, this is why you have people in community. But it's like the ongoing help. Like, not you need help with your money, with your rent this month. You need help this month, next month, and you don't even have a job in the foreseeable future. Like, and stop saying nobody's hiring. People are hiring. McDonald's, hiring. Chipotle, hiring. Literally, the mall. Walk into any retail store. They are hiring. And I know people be like, oh, that's not in my field. My daddy used to say, if you don't have a job, you don't have a field. You're careerless. Like, and there is nothing wrong with humbling yourself and working somewhere so that you can provide for yourself as an adult. And you may be thinking, oh, people be like, oh, that job doesn't pay enough. It's not enough money. Some money is better than no money. And if you show up on that job and do what you're supposed to do, you can actually get promoted. I was working in a retail job. Quick story time. I was working full-time job. I felt God saying, like, I needed to make a shift. I didn't know what the shift was going to be. There's a huge plot twist of what that is coming just a minute. But I felt God saying that I needed to make a shift. And so I had stopped working. And my husband was supporting our family. And then it was like, oh, okay, we need more money coming into the household. And so I went and I got a job, right? And because I was without employment, and I had a little money that I was making on social media, but we needed more. And so I didn't make my husband be stressed out. Like, no, provide for our whole family. I went and I got a job, right? And I got a part-time job at a store in the mall. Within 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I was promoted to a manager position because I showed up and I did well and I did my job. Like, start somewhere. I feel like today people have a problem with starting where they are. And because they're not willing to start where they are so they can earn something, everybody's just trying to hustle. Like, get a job. If not for yourself, for the people around you who are now drowning because you are draining their bank account. And this conversation is predominantly for the people that have jobs, who are letting people drain their bank account. Stop it. And the reason you need to stop it is because when you're enabling people, I'm not just helping people that aren't doing something, that, like, if they're an adult. If you asking me for money and you don't have a job, I want to see the application. Where's the job application? When do you plan to return to work? You need me to drive you to some job places to apply? Like, you need my computer so I can help you fill out some application? I'll help you with a resume. I'll help you with a lot of things. I'm not gonna just hand you my money, because then you're gonna become an endless money pit for them. And then you're gonna be wondering why you stress out and you can't pay your bills. And maybe you do have some extra money, but then you wondering why you can't go on vacation. You gave all your vacation money to somebody who refuses to get a job. And then the other thing that you're doing besides enabling them is you're really becoming God in their life. They're not looking at God as their provider. They're looking at you as their provider. Because whenever they need something, they turn around, they ask you, and you give it to them. They need to learn to start asking God, just like you had to learn to ask God. And you know what else you're doing? You're keeping them out of their purpose. Because whenever you enabling somebody to do something and keeping them from stepping into the thing that they should be doing, that's you disabling them from stepping into their purpose. And one thing I know, I don't want to be a part of getting in the way of any plans that God has for anybody. And some of you may be thinking, man, why don't I see the favor of God on my life? Why don't I sense it? Why don't I feel it in whatever things that I'm going through? And it may be because the actions that you're taking in involvement in other people's lives that are getting in the way of what God wants to do. And so God may be trying to open doors for you. He may be trying to do things for you, but he can't, because he knows if he does, you're just going to pour all those extra resources into somebody who's refusing to step into his plan and be obedient and lean on him. And so really, that's part of the problem. Your stress, your anxiety, like all this other type of stuff, a lot of it is just coming from you trying to support adult people. Let people start adulting. And I forgot to tell you guys, the plot twist was that I was feeling like there was a shift and a change coming, and it was. My husband and I ended up moving to another country for a year. So that was the plot twist.